All right, guys, thanks for checking out the video today. So this is part 2 of the valve cover refurb. This includes some Evo valve covers for the 4G63 as well as a center garnish for the RB26, and we'll see how they turn out. A little bit of paint today, prep, finishing up those valve covers and getting them on the cars. So stay tuned for that. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure that you take that opportunity and hit that bell so that you get notified every time I put up a new video. And go check me out on Instagram at Wrench Rampage. Okay, so next here we're going to do some etch primer. So etch primer has some acid in it. It's meant to cover bare metal. A lot of times more modern applications will use an epoxy, but etch primer has been around for a long time. I use it for stuff like this, and all it does is cut into the metal and allow for a mechanical joint between the primer and the metals, and that way the paint, when it's applied, won't lift. So that's what we'll be doing next. And I'm going to do the center garnish of the RB26, the valve cover that I'm going to use on the Evo 5 Toasty build whenever I'm able to get that engine together, and for my stroker build with the Dash 12 AN vents. Okay, so we did the etch primer. This was about 3 coats of etch primer, laid down nice. So I think that probably what I'll do is I'll leave it overnight. I'll let it sink down, because then I'll be able to see whether I need any high build primer to fill any scratches. Okay, so this is the primer that cuts into the aluminum and creates a good barrier for a top coat, like I said earlier, so that top coat won't lift and there won't be any adhesion problems. Alright, so this is where we're at. I am happy about how the etch primer laid down, though. It does look good. I'm just being super picky. Alright guys, so if you are following along with sort of the paint application and kind of the how-to here of what works and what doesn't work, I just need to be clear that you do not want to go right over top of an etch primer with a base color. You need something in between, and that could be a high build primer, primer surfacer, sealer, whatever you want to use. But you can't just spray color on top of that kind of greenish acidic primer. You need something else. So the product that I used on these valve covers is this one here. This is kind of my go-to. It's by Evercoat. I've used this for quite a long time. It's a good urethane primer surfacer. It sands really nice, and after leaving those valve covers overnight, I noticed there were some scratches, and this primer does have a really good ability to fill. And yeah, you can put 2 or 3 coats on, let it dry, and you can actually block it. So you can straighten out some scratches, some light scratches, and some sort of uneven surfaces. And you may think, well, is this stuff reliable on a valve cover which ends up being heat cycled? I've never had a problem with it. I've never had a problem with it lifting. I've done this a lot of times with valve covers, and there's been no issues. The latest one I did on my GTR has been on there 4 years, and it shows no signs of that paint or that coating failing. So I wouldn't be too worried about those sorts of things. But yeah, so the next stage was applying that, doing some sanding, and then going to adding some color. Okay, so the first color we're gonna spray is gonna be like a metallic silver. It has purple in it, and it's a common color on the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4. So if you have been following my channel for a long time, the valve covers on my GTR are actually this color, so I'm going to be spraying the center garnish the same color, this metallic silver. And so we're gonna get that going, get these sprayed and cleared. Okay, so we're gonna add a coil and plug cover here. For a while I've been running without one, mostly because I'd like to see the PRP coil set up, the R35 coils that I spent a fortune on. But I have had the center cover available for a while, and I'm gonna add it back on and see how it turns out. Alright, so here it is. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this or not. I do like the exposed coil pack look, but this is very, very nice. This turned out nice. So, been 4 years I haven't had the cover on, and finally went and painted it. just laziness, I guess. And now it's on there, all color matched. Looks great. Very happy with the bay so far. Gonna keep at it though. All right, so that's that for the plug cover. All right, guys, so next here we have the Toasty valve cover for the Toasty car, which is right behind me in toast colored. And this valve cover I'm just going to be doing in red. It's going to be Evo 9 red, the OEM color. There's no modifications to this valve cover. Stock venting. And I'm also going to be doing some Evo 9 side view mirrors just for a buddy of mine. While I'm painting, I may as well throw in a few extra parts. So yeah, so we're going to get this done. And now that the 2.2 stroker valve cover is done, my GTR center spark plug cover is done, and now one more valve cover for the Evo 5 that's going to be eventually going up for sale here, and with a fresh engine in it. So let's get to laying down this red. Alright guys, we've got everything set up for laying down that Evo 9 red. So we have the valve cover, the mirrors disassembled here, and so I think you guys have heard me blab about paint before. Basically it's all set up. That's the time consuming part. You need to be able to get, so for example on a mirror, you need to be able to get that gun underneath, right? So it has to be set up properly. Painting a valve cover, really you just got to worry about runs. Not a whole lot. It's a big rectangle. It's not hard to get underneath the parts that you need to get to. So yeah, pretty simple overall. All right, so let's mix up some paint and start spraying.
Alright, so bang this out. That Evo 9 red is red. Like super duper red. Alright, new engine on Toasty. May as well have a new valve cover on it. Mirrors turned out fine. Coverage was not too bad. That valve cover pops!
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video tonight. So the valve covers are all finished. Now it's going to be just finishing two 4G63 long blocks so that I can put those valve covers on them. And as well, I need to eventually get back on this car. Toasty needs an engine. So that valve cover is for this engine. And I need that long block put together so that I can get this car back on the road and hopefully sell it off, find a new owner for it. So I'll be putting updates about this car very soon. As soon as I get that long block going, this car is going to fly back together and it will be up for sale. So thank you for checking out the video tonight and have a good night.